Hey everyone, it's me Kim with another video. Today's topic will be about being alone or not. Um, what I want to talk about also is the high rate on not just divorce, but when you separate with someone, especially when you have kids, the big fight with it. I feel that even when you have a kid or kids or whatever, that it's just going through court and child support and just fighting who gets time with him or her. It's just I feel are ways to work together on that. Even though you guys aren't together, that there's some type of compromise. And because you're doing it for the kids, not for yourself. Now, if you guys don't work out in relationships, and I hear this all the time, especially at work and just my friends and stuff like that, and then it doesn't work. I know that a few of my friends say that they just are just afraid of being alone, and I have to say that I was like that too. I was really afraid of just doing things on my own, and I was so dependent on having that person there to do things for me, take care of me, and stuff like that. And it's nice, but it's just what it is. It's just not meant to be. And what I will say is, I am 37, and I do have kids. I have 3 boys, amazing boys, and we'll talk about them another video because that will be a very long video if I talk about them. uh, I had to leave, and it was about 10 years ago or so, and it was really, really hard because I did not want to break up my our family home, and it's just how it goes. It's just when you either get married or you have kids or both, that you don't want to break that up, because you just don't break up each other. You break up either the kids, your family that's connected, and all that. It's like a domino effect. But it was my best intentions to do what I did, and because of that, we're actually both happy. So I will bring up another piece of my past, and I'll try to be very brief. um, I I would have to say I'm a hopeless romantic, and because I guess I'm just so old fashioned about things and how I did want to end up with, who I wanted to end up with and stuff. But, things don't work out the way you want them. But when I was little, I was raised by this really elderly couple, and they were the sweetest. And I called them Mama and Papa because I'm, from a small little town. So they were the cutest couple ever, and I envied them so much because they were so in love. And they helped raise me, so I got to watch just how they were and their little cute little gestures to each other and stuff like that. And I kid you not, their names were Mary and Joseph, and it was just so cute. Um, and the thing with them was, it's not like that typical, I saw you and I fell in love, or, you're the first person I'm in love with, or whatever. They were actually both divorced, and then they got together. Now, I can't remember, wow, I can't remember this, but I don't think they had a kid together, but they had kids on, both sides and stuff like that. And a bunch of kids on both sides. But their last, I would say 40 years together, which that's how long they were living when I was with them. Um, they were so in love. And I was like, man, I want that, And so sometimes we want those expectations, and sometimes we don't get them. And, I went through a few serious relationships that I thought that would work, and, make it a happy home and stuff like that. And it didn't. I'm a single parent, and me, I mean, my friends ask me like, how do you do it? Like, how can you be like alone and be okay with it and do all this stuff or whatever? I mean, I'm a pretty busy person of what, industry I'm in, but I don't, I'm not like extremely ecstatic about being alone, but I've been working on myself. I've been building on who I am, and that's what I'm working towards. And maybe one day, that I'll find that person where, like I said, I'm just like this. I'm just such a silly, corny person that I'm just waiting and building on myself. Uh, a funny thing, one of my coworkers said to me like a while, well, let me see, like 3 or 4 months ago, we were listening to Bruno Mars, and we're like, oh, his voice is so awesome and blah 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 and stuff like that, and then he was like, you should totally date someone like him or whatever. I'm like, I don't know, because he's short. And he yelled at and pointed at me and said, that's exactly why you're going to be single forever. And I was like, oh crap. I was thinking about that movie Shallow Hal with Jack Black. And I was like, oh man, that is pretty shallow, isn't it? But I mean, through my experience is the reason why I guess I would say I'm particular, because I'm not judgmental like that, and it's just we were just being silly, but it's really tough, trying to look for that person, and you feel that you don't want to be alone. You're like, oh, I'm getting older and older, and I was like, I'm gonna be so old that no one's gonna want me. I mean, I went through like these online dating things, and oh god, it was like the worst ever. I got advice from my friends. They're like, try that, because like what I do, my job, I'm always at work. Like I don't go anywhere. So like if I hang out there. But I was like, you know what? No, it's not for me. I would rather just excuse me, just kind of, work on, well, not kind of, but work on myself and figure out myself, make myself a better person and appreciate who I am, so then I could appreciate the next person. I mean, I know a few people that have said like, I'd rather be alone. Like, I don't want that nagging and arguing and blah 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 and stuff like that. And I'm like, I totally dig that. I don't want that either. I don't like confrontation. I just want peace and no fighting. I don't want to like spend freaking hours looking for somewhere to eat, and just little petty shit. Oops. Sorry. I've been trying to not use profanity in my videos, but I'm sorry. I do have a bad potty mouth, but I've been good. Anyways, about this. Like I said, I've had friends, and there's that fear, of not finding that person, and being so eager and impatient, and trying so hard, like you're trying to look for a person that isn't there maybe yet. It's just with the issues that you have with your kids or just with your exes and stuff like that, and it's just you're worried about maybe can someone like deal with it, or you're dealing with it now and it's just too much stress to even do. It's just all kinds. It's just going everywhere. It's just a madhouse in your head of what you're going through. And I have to say, there's a lot of us out there that are going through so much crap, dealing with exes, or with trying to fight for our kids and trying to find someone. And I feel that looking for that someone, it'll come. I mean, we have to take time for that, because even though it sounds like it's selfish, but it's not. Like, working on yourself and loving yourself, I feel is the first thing that builds towards something. And, your kids will appreciate you trying to take care of yourself like that, is what I'm just getting at. I mean, there's, like I said, a handful of people that are just more than fine with being alone. And there is another handful of people that cannot bear to not be alone. And, you know, it's okay. And, you know, it's just what it is. That's just the reality of it. And if you go and try so hard to look for that person that's not out there yet, or, you know, you just think that it's that person, but you just have to have that gut feeling, I guess. I'm kind of corny when it comes to stuff like that. It's just, I'm the type of person, like, if I fall in love or hope to fall in love, I want to have butterflies in my stomach and not be able to speak and all kinds of silly stuff. But I personally have accepted that it's okay, because being too eager to want something so bad, it always turns out sour, I guess. Alrighty. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It wasn't as bad. It's a little more comical than anything. But, alright. Hope you enjoy. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Good night, guys.